This is going to be a reading for reconciliation and communication from a counterpart. This reading is going to be for those of you who are in no contact or currently in contact with someone who you feel or believe is your divine counterpart. Throughout the reading, you'll get certain synchronicities that will align you with this reading or will de-align you. You'll know as the reading goes on if this is for you or if this is something that you should pass on for someone else. It is going to be a channeled energy for reconciliation, for someone to reconnect or for two people, I should say, to reconnect and to bring this relationship back to the surface if it's not already something that has been a center focus of your attention. So I'm gonna get some of the base energy of that and just see what's going on between the two of you. So I'm gonna get the overall energy, then your energy, and then their energy to see what we are dealing with. This is gonna be a little bit of a longer reading, so you can find the full reading on my YouTube. The link will be in my TikTok bio, and it is the same username as it is on TikTok. So you can find the full reading there. Let me go ahead and get their energy. Wow. I want you to see, like, they're all different colors, right? You got all the same. It's like this really pretty periwinkle. But I asked for overall energy, situation, your energy, their energy, and it's kind of feeling already like everything is on a very similar wavelength. So we're gonna see what's going on here. But for the overall energy of this connection, you will have cooperation instead of competition. What's yours is yours and no one can take it from you. There's no need to compete, and there's an abundance for all. You have complete access to unlimited abundance for yourself and to share with others. So I'm already feeling like there could be jealousy issues or a competitive aspect to this relationship, or that's what will be presenting itself in the near future. We'll get more into that. It's an overall energy, so I feel like it is what's presenting itself right now, or what has presented itself in this connection. You could be feeling like you have to protect this person, or you have to protect their energy from other people attaching to it. I'm kind of hearing like, you know how abundant and how like beautiful and loving this person is, masculine or feminine energy, take it how it resonates, but you know how attractive and magnetizing that this person is, that you feel like you kind of have to keep them secure. This could also be, since it is coming out overall energy, I just want you to take how it resonates with you. This could be how the person you're in no communication with, you're coming into communication with. This could be how they're feeling for you, right? So overall energy, sit where you resonate the most with that. But spirits are asking you to show up to this partnership with a way to compromise, especially when it comes to being feeling insecure about your position with this person, which we'll dive into because I'm sure there's a whole reasoning for that. We usually don't get like an insecurity like that unless something is coming from it or something in the past has come from that. So just one second. I'm sorry also if you can hear that. It is starting to storm in my area, so you might be able to hear the rain in the background for the remainder of this reading. Your overall energy, let's get right into it. So we have power of prayer coming out for you. This one says, give the situation to God for uplifting and healing, and be open to miracles. Heaven's unlimited resources, love, and answers are awaiting your prayer. Be sure to act upon divine guidance that God gives you in response to your prayers. I do think you presented yourself in this connection, speaking freely or allowing yourself to be free. Like there is a very free spoken word to this. I'm trying to figure out how to piece this together in my own wording. I think it's the opposite. I don't think you struggled to really explain yourself to this person. That's not something you had difficulty with. You were able to explain yourself in a way that I think resonated well with you and with this person in the past. So for me, I do think that if you were feeling uncomfortable or unsecure in this connection, that wasn't something that you held like to you didn't hold that in. You definitely expressed to this person when you were feeling left out, vulnerable, threatened. A lot of that did come to the surface, but when it came to possibly the communication, we'll deep dive into it because I didn't pull any extra cards here, just the power prayer. It could be that possibly the communication wasn't received how you anticipated it to have gone, especially since the overall energy is like cooperation instead of competition. And I had said that your communication, you could have had to find a way to compromise. That could have been like, that could be what you're trying to lean into. I'm also slurring over my words. I'm like stuttering, not slurring, I guess, but stuttering and like losing my place. So perhaps you felt very, like, typically you are a very good communicator. Typically you're very good at expressing yourself, but perhaps as you continued in this relationship, something that you had difficulties in was expressing yourself or communicating to the fullest. Their energy, windfall of abundance. An increase in abundance is arriving in many different forms, some of them unexpected. Be open to receiving and know that this abundance comes to you to support your life purpose, health, and charitable work. So you and this person, you and this person both have the ability to manifest and to receive what it is that you are asking for, that you are putting into this like prayer, into this manifestation. Whether you're explicitly or outwardly trying to manifest, or it's in an unconscious way, I feel like this person shows up. Again, this energy is very similar. It's like you're under this periwinkle color, you're kind of under the same wavelength. So it's like this person showing up they're showing up in a way that's mirroring you. It's mirroring your energy, but this person has a lot of outside factors that are going on right now. This windfall of abundance means that this person is expected to receive a lot of things in their, not just you, perhaps you're part of this abundance, right? You're a part of this relationship or this next step, but this person is also going to receive abundance and acceleration within their financial career, within their mental health and physical health. And when it comes to this person showing up within their generosity and how they are as a person in this world, their morality is starting to change. It's starting to shift. So they're right now having, like, you have to see it like a large pie chart. They have all these different sections that they're going through right now. And you're part of that. You're definitely part of this pie chart. But there seems to be some other sections right now that are a bit larger than the relationship section is. And I truthfully believe that in a divine counterpart or divine relationship, that is how it should be, because in those relationships, you're focusing so much on healing. You're focusing so much on bettering yourself that when you do bring alignment into these connections, that's when you have to then start to organize and fix the issues that arise in that relationship. So you don't want to be dealing with what you have going on and then what they have going on, and then also deal with this relationship issues together, because that's going to come up. The relationship issues will come up, and you can't sidetrack your own healing or sidetrack your own lessons because you want to heal this relationship or this person through this relationship as well. That wouldn't work. Although you guys do have like a similar energy, you're focused on different things. So you are in your current energy very focused on, I feel like you're communication, your action to communication. I think that you really do like follow through. You really follow through with what you want to do. If you say you're going to do something, like if you tell this person, I'm leaving or I'm not doing this or blah, 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 you're going to do it. You're going to follow through. You're not going to just go off and kind of, you know, at one, like, you're not going to go and say something and then not follow through with it. I guess I shouldn't have over explained that, but because of that, you do have like an incredible amount of like magic in you. You have a way to kind of like call something into your energy, and when you do that and it arrives in your energy or it shows up in your energy, you're so used to this, you're so used to being able to kind of expect things coming in or expect things to happen, that you don't see it as manifestation. You don't see it that way. So I do think that you, in your current energy, already know this person has heavy focus on other things, but they also at some point will be focused on you, whether it's now or in the future. I know that you feel that you already have involvement in this person's life. So if that's not you, if you feel like this person is constantly leaving you out, like you don't feel like you're important to this person, or this person like pays attention to you or knows you, then this reading is probably not for you. But if your energy resonates with someone who you do have trust that this person has a spot for you in their life, then I again think this is your reading, because you are a divine counterpart and you do know that you have other things to deal with. I just think that whatever happened in the past that made you feel insecure or threatened, it was part of your divine journey together. In order for the two of you to sort of like to meet again, you needed that sort of feeling, you know, of not feeling good enough for this person, feeling like you needed to change yourself for this person, when in reality that's not the case. And I think you've come to that conclusion now with this person especially. So since I did go ahead and grab the overall energy of this connection, I do want to move into, what do I want to move into? Well, I want to see what it is that when reconciliation is approaching, what it is on this person's like agenda or their motives, and your motives and agenda to this reconciliation. What is that you want to see from reconnecting and re-entering each other's orbit here? Is this something that you two are planning on having happen for the long term, for like the long run? Or is this something that you're going to want to still take time before you fully come into connection with each other? Sorry, the lighting was getting really bad because there is a storm in my area, and unfortunately I cannot control the weather. So I do want to see what we have coming in for reconciliation. The first card you did have out was raise or promotion, and I'll get into that in a minute. And your energy and their energy for motives. So the overall motives, raise or promotion for the overall energy. Congratulations, an increase in your abundance flow awaits you. This is a result of your positive focus and willingness to take action based on your divine guidance. Keep up the good work. So I think that spirits are definitely like on your side or pushing this connection to come back into alignment with each other. So right now, if you are in no contact, you could be getting signs and synchronicities about this person, whether it is in your dreams, did you see that? Or if it is in your like in your personal life, you're seeing maybe their car, their initials, you're seeing their name, or possibly things that remind you of this person or the time when you guys were connected. Also, this could be a period of time where you guys had connected in a point in the past. Maybe not last year, maybe a year or two ago. If so, you could also see like how far along your cycle is as well. So overall energy, there is a raise in vibration, and the focus on that divine guidance and spirits even congratulating you. It's kind of like that. It's a moment for you to celebrate. It's a moment for you to feel relaxed and excited for what's coming next, and not worry or feel like there is something to be worried about. I think that's why I hesitated a little bit on what I wanted to move into when it comes to this reading, because there is an overall energy here that you should be feeling very relaxed and not stressed out about this connection. A divine connection shouldn't put you through that much stress. That's more of a toxic connection. So for the overall energy, I feel like spirits are kind of just asking you to, or for the motives of the overall energy. Sorry, the motive of the reconnection, the reconciliation energy. The motive behind that feels like it is just meant for you to relax and really absorb it and really get a feel for what it is that you enjoy from this energy again. Your overall energy is coming out as focus on your priorities. Where you put your focus is where you receive your outcome. Your priorities are calling you, which may produce a feeling of anxiety unless you give them the time and attention that they and you deserve. Even a small amount of time devoted to your priorities will help you feel better and more confident, which I do think you are doing. I don't think that you're dwelling over when this person will be contacting you. I don't think you're hovering your phone, and I don't think you're like constantly checking and like manifesting this person's communication. If you are, again, this reading is probably not necessarily for you. But this is more focus on your priorities. I think it's just a reminder maybe not to let this reading steer you off. So if you do find yourself getting really excited that this person's coming in, or that this person's communicating, or you are seeing those signs, and you are getting communication from this person, don't pour your entire being and all your energy into that communication. You do have other things. You do have other priorities. Imagine their pie chart. Remember, you see where you are, but you do know that there are other things that have more of this person's attention. So you kind of want to do that as well. You want to show up and be very focused and nurturing your own self, your own hobbies, your own priorities. So, and you might get anxiety and anxious emotions, especially if you reattach yourself to this person and they don't show up how you expect, or they show up in a way that makes you question yourself again or question your security. That's not something we want here, especially in a divine, in a divine pairing. So to continue to focus on yourself, even if it is just the small things, you can find things that continue to make you feel proud and make you feel whole without this person inflicting their, judgment on that. Their overall, and that's your motives showing up to this. So I do want to mention as well, when it comes down to your motives and showing up that way and not showing up too invested, that's what I'm trying to say, is not to show up 100, like pouring in 115% of your energy into this person right now during this period of getting everything back on track, getting reconciliation back on track. Later down the line in the future, if you want to pour in more energy, sure. But while this is coming to alignment again, I would say take it slow, and the slower you approach this is probably the better. Especially since you're the one with the light here, you are going to be kind of guiding this. So, but I do want to mention that this person's also got a glowing torch in there. So I do think that they also show up. Like with a torch, it's like this person is a bit wise. See, the way that I'm going to say it the way that spirits, this person's very smart, and you might at points feel like this person's smarter than you, or you might feel like this person's like wiser than you. It'll resonate if it resonates with you, but you might look at this person sometimes and be like, damn, you really know your shit. Because that's what I was getting. I was getting that you look at this person and you feel like sort of like you don't know as much as this person does, or you wish you did. Organized for success is what came out for their motive of reconciliation for you, that overall energy of their motives. Do not let the word organize intimidate you. as it is a simple way for you to ensure clarity of purpose. Organizing your thoughts, your reports, your living and workspace, and your finances will help you know and plan for your next action steps. So again, like I initially said about this person's overall energy of having like a pie chart and several things to focus on, don't let this person's life intimidate your relationship with them. People can be busy and show up with like 115 things to do, but they can also show up for you. It's not until you notice that this person can't show up for you, that's when you should worry. But I feel like Organized for Success, this person has had time. Maybe in the past they weren't successful at this, and they showed up and didn't prioritize their time with you well, didn't prioritize good dates or good effort into this relationship. That's something of the past. That is a past energy that this person has learned how to organize all those different sectors of their life. So when they do come to you and they approach you and they are trying to give you time and they are trying to give you effort, you might again have those moments where you do feel anxious, or you feel like you don't know if this person is showing up in the same sort of energy that you are. That intimidation, that anxiety, don't let this person's busy schedule be the reason why you push this person away. That's sort of what I'm getting here. This person is an extremely busy person. They are guiding their own path here. And with that torch is what I was going to say. Yeah, you have the guide too. You have a lantern. But this person also has a stake. So the way I see that is this person is probably taking care of others, or they have other people to lead. Whether that be their own family, siblings, kids, parents, whatever it is, this person is taking care of other things. So they could even have family in a retirement home, family in their home that they're taking care of, like elderly. Or this person could have like a lot of pets, a lot of responsibility, or be an important person at their job. You're going to have to take that how it resonates, because I did get a few things for that. But it's overall this energy of this person being someone who is needed. Okay, so that's why they have the stake, is if someone took their energy, let's say you took 110 of their energy, right, for that relationship, this person would start to domino, fall, and lose everything that they have built. Okay, and I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm not saying that so you're like, oh, I can't have any of this person's attention. No, but you will have to compromise with yourself that you are not competing for this person's attention. Okay, that you are simply just aligning, like you're merging into this person's energy alongside them, which is a beautiful thing to do as a divine couple. You learn to mesh together and intertwine instead of just colliding and causing a collision. Okay, so that is a super sweet energy, especially when it's coming through as so similar. And I do feel that your energy coming out in the middle, it does feel like you just are a little bit worried, a little bit scared that you can't or won't show up and you won't receive the same amount of energy from this person. I do think that most of your fear stems from the past energy between the two of you. So I am going to get some energy about the past, about what happened between the two of you that did cause you two to have to separate, at least for the time being. I just want to know what the overall energy was. Obviously, your thoughts on the situation and this person's thoughts on the situation. So overall energy, your thoughts on the situation. I also do want to get spirits what their opinion was of this time apart, of the breakup and the time apart. So that's their energy. Can I get spirits, what do you think of the time apart and the overall breakup? What do you think of the breakup, the reason behind the breakup? What do you think of it? You know, it's funny because both the spirits cards are green. Okay, well, let's get right into this energy. So the overall energy of the breakup, of what caused the two of you to disconnect, You got, okay, so I'm not going to butcher this, but I always think of Scooby-Doo Cyber Chase. This gives me an energy of the future, which is ironic because we're talking about the past, right? But that makes me think that you could have been excelling. Oh, there's my dog. You could have been accelerating or trying to like rush the future here, or even rush thinking about the future. Maybe you were thinking about things before they were like ever really gonna happen, or sorry about my doggy. She's gonna probably bark a little bit because she's having a dream. But it makes me think that you were maybe freezing your time in the present. You weren't too focused on it, and you were thinking a lot about the future. So maybe when things weren't working out or weren't shifting the direction that you wanted it to, you did start to get angry about the future. And this could have came from the other person too, this person you're in connection with, but because it is overall energy. So maybe they also were kind of angry at the projection or at the idea that this relationship wasn't going in the direction that they wanted to or you wanted it to. So there could have been an exchange of angry words, because this one specifically says that it is calming for anger. Okay, it is supposed to calm you when you're speaking in anger, especially when you're lashing out. So this makes me think that the overall energy could have consisted with a lot of fights. These fights could have been like yelling matches, like who can yell louder, who can be meaner, who can be angrier. Or they could have just ended lots of times where you felt very angry. And maybe you had choice words, you had choice things to say. This person maybe did too, or maybe you wrote about those things or group chatted like your friends about it, or whatever it was just kind of bitter. There was a lot of bitter energy here, which is telling me that somebody probably did do like the he said she said here, where they did go off to friends and say something, and I feel like it just wasn't a good thing, because I feel like that led to like a game of telephone here, and it did like accentuate the issue, the anger. So that, I do feel like there was a rush here. There was a rush for things to either need to feel perfect or to feel like they were progressing, and when they didn't, that did cause like some freeze up, some tension here. So your overall energy about this breakup, how you feel, your thoughts on this breakup, okay? There can be a lot of negative energy and negative emotions surrounding you from day to day. The stone neutralizes those energies and allows your spirit to absorb knowledge and wisdom. Used during meditation, it also expands your mind, and you can truly understand the beauty of life. This is the, in case you wanted to go grab one. But with this specific crystal, I do get this a lot when the energy is, when you're having issues, like it said, day to day. When you wake up in the morning and you find yourself feeling sad, within a few hours, or when you find yourself feeling sad around the same time of day, or progressively finding yourself feeling pretty emotional or distraught about something or a past relationship. Knowledge and wisdom here, I am feeling like you did come across a part of your journey where you did have like a mini extra spiritual awakening. Like I feel like you've had one before, you've had previous spiritual awakenings, but you had a part of your journey that awakened you further than any other has. Those who'll understand, they'll resonate with that. If you don't resonate with that, then I don't want you to think too deep into it, but I feel like a part of yourself, you've broken off a part of yourself, or you've come out of your snake skin. It's almost like you shedded a skin here. And you'd feel that. You would know. You would feel like a different person, especially when it comes to reconnecting with this person. You wouldn't feel the same insecurities or unsecure emotions that you felt in the past anymore. You're definitely in a different energy where, because of the way that you've been feeling on a day-to-day basis, you have found a way to transform those issues into a form of like spirituality here. So again, don't make this fit if it doesn't, but it'll resonate with you, because you'll know. You'll be like, oh yeah, I had to start meditating because I was losing my, or I had to start going to Pilates, I had to start talking to the moon. I had to start making a spell jar. Whatever it was that you started to do, it was a bit spiritual. It did have a spiritual meaning to it. So maybe you go for a night swim, you go for a night walk, you do something ritually. Whatever it is, if it's ritualistic, it has to do with your spirituality, and it has neutralized the negativity that you've been harvesting from this relationship. So you've released that, okay? And that has become like a part of this old skin that you no longer resonate yourself with. You don't know that person, is what you would say. You would be like, yeah, I don't know why I acted like that. That insecurity, the darkness, that negative emotion you had, you needed to release that. I feel like you needed to learn how to be secure within your own energy before this person could, before you and this person could really be together in an energy. So I do want to go ahead and go into their energy now and see what it is that they had felt when it came down to this breakup, their thoughts about this breakup, how it affected them. So we have Larimar. Larimar is a mixture of sky and sea. Specifically tuned to women, this stone helps restore a connection with an earth goddess and bestows upon the energy of the sky and sea. As you meditate, it can help you reach the spiritual plane and even help with angelic connections. So I always say that this is kind of like my third party card. This person could have been focused on other people. They could have been focused on other relationships, or a pretty lustful person. When it says sky and sea energy, this is a person that could show up kind of being able to shape shift, I guess. They can definitely transmute their energy and be an extrovert and an introvert at the same time. Maybe that's how you know them. Maybe they showed up to you as an introvert, showed up to others as an extrovert. So you had an understanding of one side of this person, and when this person would show up, I think, as that other side, you would kind of feel further away from them, okay? You would feel like a distance from them. It's like you're down here in the ocean, you're part of that sea of them, you know, you're part of the sea, that ocean part of them. And then when they're at the sky, like the sky and the sea, you feel separated from this person. You don't feel like you know or understand this person anymore, and that there's other people that might understand them more. And I feel like that intimidation did affect the way that this person viewed themselves. Something that I was feeling throughout this reading is that this person isn't actually lustful. I think this was even something they've even told you. Maybe they had mentioned to you that they're like a player, they're a lustful person, or they don't commit to people. This felt like this person felt intimidated by, it feels like this person felt intimidated by the way that you viewed them in this connection. So they showed up as that. Like, I hate to say it, but it was like this person was like, oh, you think I'm like a player? Like, because I feel like you were intimidated by their energy, and you did feel unsecure at certain points. And like I mentioned in the earlier parts of this, that you had no shortage of telling this person, like, hey, yeah, I feel threatened. You would tell them. So that's why I think that this person would get this energy of like, you would come to them, you would tell them you feel threatened about maybe your coworker or their coworkers, or there's certain friends that are in that sky energy, you know, in the energy that you feel like you can't reach. And after a certain level or a certain extent, I feel like this person started to started to transmute that into anger or resentment, into being like, okay, well then, yeah, like I'm gonna go after these connections. I'm gonna be lustful. I'm gonna chase these connections, even though that wasn't initially what this person wanted. So it feels like the way that they were presenting themselves is that they were angry. There was anger here, and there was a point of themselves where they're like, you didn't understand them, and because you didn't understand them there, they decided to show up how you saw them, and that wasn't in the best light. So I want to go into how spirits saw this overall connection, because it seems like their end, your counterpart's end, it seems like they landed more in confusion and anger. I don't want to continue on with their energy because it seems like they did things out of anger, which makes sense because you did have one of those crystals that said it was to help from angry words, like harsh words, which like, I feel like it's something you both recognized as something you both do. Like, you're kind of like ruthless when it comes to like when you're angry at each other. So maybe this person was a bit ruthless. And I feel like if I go into their energy more, I might just resurface some things that you don't want to revisit either. So I want to know what spirits think of this overall breakup here. And what they think of the breakup, and what their thoughts was on the breakup, and something else. I'll remember, it'll come to. But both cards are green, so I want to get into that. Definitely a protection energy here, but you could also be manifesting some sort of overall stability. Or I believe that that's what spirits want to manifest for this connection, is overall stability. Green jadeite is the most common color. This creamy green stone is a symbol of peace and purity. Held to the forehead during meditation, it will bring vivid visions that often contain messages. It can allow you to dream of walking the astral plane. And then you have zoisite. It is tuned with your emotions. The sacred stone can shift emotions and can break through emotional trauma. When anxiety and worry flood your mind, the stone will assist you in meditation, and it allows you to use its celestial energy to let go of angst. So the overall energy right now, there is a need for, it feels like peace and purity is like the overall message between the both of these. You really do want to let go of any worry. It's like kind of having a worry doll, or finding some other, sorry about my chair, it's very squeaky, finding some sort of way to transmute this energy, this worry and this anxious emotions into something else, especially when it comes to how you were dealing with things in the past. I feel like this is something that's going to be a huge focus, is your peace and how the two of you feel when you're showing up to this connection. Does somebody feel anxious? Does somebody feel like they're getting their peace taken from them? Does somebody feel nervous? Like, it's like how you showed up in the past connection, where you felt insecure or unsecure in this person's energy, and then this person would feel resentment and anger because they did want to show you security, but it seemed like because they had their own focus, that they were showing you the opposite. So there was like, this person was anxious about how they were making you feel, and you were anxious about how they were making you feel. And the both of you too, celestial energy and then an astral plane. One card talks about the celestial energy, the other one talks about the astral plane. That tells me that this is like some next level bullshit. Like, not literal bullshit, but like it's next level shit. So this is something that the two of you had your issues, you had your misunderstandings, but I feel like no matter how you presented yourself to the situation, it was going to happen this way, right? So you were going to have to show up in a way where you were going to highlight some insecurities there, and this person was going to be who did that to you. This could have happened a different way, yes, and you probably would have learned your lesson through someone else, but there's a reason why you're learning your lesson through this person. I'm going to get that in a moment here and see what the reasoning is behind that. But whatever it is, I'm sure that there's some like divine ordinance to it. My chair is squeaking so much and it's annoying me. So let's see why spirits had put you in this energy here to sort of like highlight or show off some sort of insecurity to this person. Why this connection had to go. So you have the Walker and the Herald. Unknown journey, the unknown and a journey, and then small regrets and longing. I think in the past, this person had probably extended an offer. Maybe you had extended an offer to do something that was a bit risky. Okay, so this could have been going on a trip, or maybe moving in together, doing something that would have been on a whim. And I do feel like there was some sort of rejection here with the Chiromancer in reverse. This means somebody didn't take that collaboration. They did not go for it. And you also have small regrets and longing here. So somebody does regret that choice that they made. Take it how it resonates, if it was you or this person. but somebody decided to reject this like new journey or this new opportunity here. And I think it's because of the way that you were feeling within. So your insecurities and the level of the level of unsecure emotion that you were feeling when you were showing up to this, it did cause you, or cause this other person, take it how it resonates, because it could have been that this other person, they were going to approach you with some sort of offer or some sort of like trip here, but because it was so on the rocks, or the both of you couldn't get on the same page, they decided not to bring this towards you. However that happened, however it went down, if it was you or this person, you missed out on an opportunity to take a trip together or take an adventure together. And that is why I think you did have to go on a period of where you two had to separate and to figure out your own issues, because you were missing out on opportunities, okay? You were like missing out on really cool things that the two of you could have explored together because you were afraid of, you know, what made you feel insecure in this connection. So I want to know a little bit about reconciliation, what we can expect when you guys are in communication, again, if you're not already. So I'm going to do that with tarot. I'm just going to get some energy out to see what we can expect from reconciliation. So overall energy, your energy. I'm grabbing 2 tarot for each. Your energy and their energy. Reconciliation. Okay. So overall energy for reconciliation. 6 of Cups and the King of Swords. So I like the 6 of Cups because there's 2 little children on here. It gives the idea that the 2 of you are going to connect in a sense that does unlock or unleash your inner child again. You're going to feel very safe and secure. So that was an issue. You're not going to be feeling it anymore. You also did get the King of Swords out, which is a strong communicator. This is 2 people who are going to show up to a connection with strong communication and strong guidance. So you two are going to be heavily guided to by your ancestors and definitely like spirits themselves. They are going to be helping you with this connection. Whenever these cards come in and they have this like flow of water, that is an outside connection that is harvesting some sort of attention or energy from you. And by connection, I mean your connection with spirits, not a connection with a third party. This is your connection with the universe. This is your connection with your guides. So that is what you're going to be recognizing as something that's kind of motivating you and like helping you make your next choices here. So what you can expect in reconciliation is to be feeling safe again with this person, to be doing things where you can really explore that vulnerable side. So maybe taking picnics or going for drinks, picking flowers. This person could pick you flowers from the side of the road. This could also be significant too, but they could put flowers in a cup for you and like bring it to you or something like that. This could also be like the dynamic here. You guys could be biracial, or, you know, there could be similarities here that you kind of recognize in each other. So the energy that you're bringing towards reconciliation when this communication is finally happening, it looks like you're coming in with Knight of Cups and the Strength card. So the Strength card did come out in reverse, and the thing that I noticed here with the Strength card is that this is somebody who is very in her power, right? She is definitely probably not someone that you can push around and tell what to do, manipulate, and stuff like that. But also when I do see that card, it is someone who is like so in their power, you also can never sway them, and in a way they're never wrong. So it's so in your power, so in you that you don't ever let yourself be wrong. But since it's coming out in reverse, it's showing me that you're not going to show up in that like it's my way, or like nothing else will ever go type of attitude, or just like in this very blunt, arrogant attitude, which I feel like you may have showed up in the past as someone who is very blunt, especially when expressing your own emotions. But you're showing up with Knight of Cups. So you're showing up as someone who has a lot to offer, but you will not make the first move and start pouring your cup until you've seen something, or you've seen some sort of like reciprocation of energy put into you. So I do think that is why you're using guides here, like your spirit guides, as what motivates you to taking your next action and to moving into your next steps here is because you're not going to move your chess piece here until you know where to put it. And you're also not going to be hard on yourself about it either. You're not going to be too hard on this person. You are coming in with strength, but to a certain level. It's again giving like you're just not going to be so protective of yourself. You're not going to shut yourself away into a box, but you're still going to show up with some sort of strength here. And then this person's energy when it comes to showing up to this reconnection and reconciliation, how will they react and what is their thoughts? You have 10 of Pentacles here and the 3 of Wands. So, oh, and your overall thoughts too for reconciliation. I would say that you're definitely looking, you're excited and you're happy about the reconciliation. You're there with the Knight card, but I am seeing again that you're just looking for reciprocation. So if this is not something that shows you that same reciprocation, this may be something that you don't want to put your time and energy into. But because I'm seeing with the King of Swords that it is such strong communication, I think that you won't have any issues with this. So your thoughts, I feel like you're clear-headed, you're just precise. So if things don't show up the way that you want them to, then that's when you might be feeling different again. But don't forget about this person's busy schedule. That was something we touched on earlier, but if you still have, I think you are coming in with a very different energy, but just don't allow this person's busy schedule to intimidate you. So this person's energy showing up for the reconciliation is showing up as the 10 of Pentacles in reverse and the 3 of Wands. So I am a bit concerned on why we're getting the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, but the 3 of Wands is telling me that this person is doing some soul searching, or perhaps they are spending some time alone for the time being. So when reconciliation comes through, they might be in an energy or in a mindset where they aren't as positive or optimistic about this connection working out long term. It does feel like this person is this counterpart of yours. It does feel like with the 10 of Pentacles coming out in reverse that they are feeling a bit lost. And hold on a second, because my chair is annoying me. Okay, sorry about that. My chair was annoying the crap out of me for so long. So because they're showing up in the 10 of Pentacles in reverse, they may not trust that this is going to work out for the long term, or this will be a long-term connection. And this is when the reconciliation is just starting. And it does make sense because your energy is showing up as like, okay, if I don't see reciprocation, I'm not going to want to keep putting my energy in. So the both of you are showing up in sort of a reserved energy here to this connection, where that may cause some implications here, especially if you do marry each other. You'll be reserved, this person will be reserved. But they are in a soul-searching energy, your counterpart here. Although this isn't something that they believe in necessarily right now, it is, they are thinking about it. So they are thinking about the possibility of it working out, not working out. And just because they think it won't work out doesn't mean that it won't. But there is implications here. I do want to know if the like resistance and the hesitation here will cause any issues. So I'm just going to pull a couple of tarot for that just to see. So you have the Moon in reverse, the 6 of Wands, and the King of Wands. So the 6 of Wands coming out in reverse, it's like there is sort of a trend here with sixes too. So this could be a part of your journey here where you guys are not going to be connecting for the last time. What I mean by that is that this might be like a short reconnection period, and then you end up breaking it off again and reconnecting later down the line. I don't want to say that to worry you or to make you be like, oh my God, like another issue. But I say that because like you do have a lot of sixes here. So that tells me that this could be like an on and off or a stop and go cycle until the two of you figure out how to like really manage your emotions without letting it affect each other. Because your resistance, their resistance, whoever is bringing this to the table, it is bouncing off of each other, bouncing off of this energy. So that could be why this energy is a bit stop and go, stop and go, stop and go. Because it is trying to progress, but it's like you guys could be finding those blockages, those implications. You do have the Moon as well in reverse and the Knight of Wands in reverse. All of these cards are in reverse. So the implications that when your energy is being mirrored, it can cause like a pretty large discrepancy between your relationship together. The Moon is telling me that there is some sort of longing in this connection too. that you could have been longing for this connection to feel deeper than it was, to feel deeper. Yeah, the green aventurine in reverse. This is literally about like a deep diving into your emotions and your intellect. This very powerful stone is known to promote positivity when held close. This green stone can stimulate creativity and open your mind, a new fresh outlook on reality. Green aventurine is also the calming stone, stimulating emotional healing. So because I feel like you've like longed for this person in a deeper way and a deeper connection in the past, if that's something to come back up while you are in communication with this person again, if you start to long for them again, if you start to feel like this connection needs to be deeper, that is going to put this connection on like freeze zone again, right? Because I do feel like it goes back into that crystal that we got in the beginning, the cryo something. It's like you freeze your future because you're thinking so much about, or you freeze your present, you freeze your present because you're thinking so much about the future. So you're not able to move into those, like, you're not able to move into those moments that you're like actively in with this person because you're thinking too much about what could potentially happen here. And I do feel like that's why the Knight of Wands is also showing up in reverse. It's because like the energy that would show up to this connection would be that Knight of Wands in reverse. It would feel lustful or sneaky, or like not providing enough, or just like sly, you know, like slick energy. It just doesn't feel like it would show up in a way that either of you would look at it and be too excited for the future. So this reading is kind of taking an interesting turn because in the beginning, the reconciliation did seem pretty, like, it does feel clear. Like, I do think you guys will be reconnecting. I just don't think that this will be something that, this will be like the last time this happens between the two of you. Unless, because again, this is current energy, and current energy can always shift and change, but unless you're able to really shift out of some of these old mindsets, because it does feel like we are still holding on to a few. But again, you did like remove a lot of your old skin. You have shedded a lot of your old self, and you feel like you are still showing up to this connection as a different person. It's just continuing to embody that energy when things become uncertain, and when you're in this connection with this person and you start to begin to like, when you start to begin to worry, that's when you need to stop yourself and be like, okay, hey, like, I've been here before, this has happened before, I shouldn't feel this way. I should know that this person has a busy life, or I should know this person cares about me. And you have to stop and kind of remind yourself and not pour it on this person to be the only one, because this person is going to give you that reassurance. I feel like this person, part of their own journey is to be reassurance for themselves as well. The both of you. You need to be reassuring yourself, so this person can't only be focused on you too. You have carnelian coming out. Position the stone near any door in your home and it will invoke protection, and as well as inviting positive energy into your space. Carnelian is known to stimulate your metabolism and promote healing. This powerful healing stone can also cleanse others. I think it's time to cleanse your home was what I was going to say. I think it's time to do a home cleansing, either with incense or sage. It's definitely time to just make sure that before this connection comes back in for reconnection, regardless of how long it's for, you're completely cleansed. So it could be time to go ahead and make sure that you sage your home, make sure everything is very cleansed. Also, a good time to really check yourself. How are you feeling? How are you thinking? Are you already stressed? How did this reading make you feel? Do you already feel emotional about this person returning? You know, start asking yourself those questions so you can start to prepare yourself mentally for this when it does come in. Also too, you could be meeting this person in a personal, private space, like your home or their home. Your reconnection or your next visit together could be at your house. You could be just doing something from the comfort of your own home. Also too, you could be in like a phase of your life where you are eating healthy, or you're doing healthier things, and you're trying to be like focused on your health. That is something that spirits are asking you to continue to focus on. Remember that when this person comes in, they're not your only priority. You have other things to focus on as well. So your health and your diet could be something that spirits want you to focus on. You also have declutter coming out. So this could be a good time to start to get rid of those things that you no longer have, you no longer want, and also for you to kind of donate and get rid of all the unwanted items that you don't want. Sorry if it got dark, I'm not sure what happened there. But it also says be sure to keep your schedule uncluttered as well. So if you have a lot of things going on, if you've been a really busy bee, this person could be trying to meet up with you or visit with you in the next coming days or weeks. So you might need to clear your schedule there, or that you might be very busy at work. So there might be a need to clear your schedule from work. Yeah, it looks like that's pretty much your overall energy. It does look really good, by the way. I just